It's the result of a 6-month-long investigation. Nearly 24 drug dealers indicted in Annapolis, all in an effort to combat the overwhelming heroin problem. ABC 2's Don Harrison talked with police today.
Almost 24 drug dealers were indicted in Annapolis. This on the heels of 10 fatal opiate overdoses last year. 11 people have died already this year from heroin and other opioid overdoses. Annapolis police say arrests like these are impactful.
It could make a difference for someone's loved one out there that was going to make a purchase from one of these guys and he won't be there to buy from.
These 22 people were not just small-time corner drug dealers.
These were dealers that had a stable of customers, that they would meet people in different parts of the city and outside the city to make these buys. They're not corner boys waiting for someone to drive by. These are people moving more weight through the city.
These are the faces of some of those already arrested. Others police have identified and are looking for them. This is a culmination of a 6-month investigation. The arrest started Wednesday. Annapolis police seized 10 vehicles during these arrests because those cars were used in the selling of these drugs, but it wasn't just cars that Annapolis police confiscated.
A couple of the people arrested had drugs in their possession when they were arrested, individually packaged for sale, and at least one of those tested positive for fentanyl, which is extremely deadly.
Many of these arrests were possible because of undercover officers making drug buys, 54 in all. Police say these large arrests are to send a message to drug dealers: don't do your work in Annapolis.
You know, they should be scared. Hopefully they'll take a second look at what they've chosen as their career and move on.
In Annapolis, Don Harrison, ABC 2 News.
All right, check this out. This is not your average burglar. I'm going to get out of the phone. There he goes. He comes crashing through the ceiling. You believe this? Look at this. He falls right on top of a shelf full of cigarettes, all right? And he knocked them all to the ground. And then he starts stuffing his pockets with as many cartons as he can before climbing onto the counter and then getting away. Back through the ceiling he goes. This happened on Guilford Avenue in Mount Vernon last week. So if you know who this man is, let me see if we can get a better shot of him. There he is. He's still stuffing, still stuffing. Man, that guy needed
really
a smoke.
Want to smoke bad,
yeah,
huh?
Man, smoke
All
break.
Right. Well, you know what? The weekend is here, and you want to make sure your plans don't get washed out. So let's check in with the man with the answers. Meteorologist Mike Taylor has that all-important, most accurate forecast. Mike, so how's it looking?
Hey, the weekend, unfortunately, is not going to look like the last 2 days have looked as far as temperatures in the 70s with a decent amount of sunshine, all because of this cold front. You see it right behind me right here. It's now arrived to Maryland, and it's going to impact our weekend significantly. First off, it's going to change up our temperatures. It's already increased our clouds, and we have a few scattered showers passing through the area. A very light stuff currently making its way across the bay. Can't even see it hardly, but it is just south of Chestertown. It's going to continue to move in an easterly direction. Very light rainfall. Once we get through with this, you'll notice a very sharp drop in those temperatures, and the skies are already starting to clear up right now. So currently at BWI, we're at 73 degrees. The dew point's at 60 degrees, and winds are from the northwest at 7 miles per hour. Looking at your forecast for the rest of this evening, we stay mostly cloudy, but much cooler. Temperatures go back into the 50s, and we can't rule out those spotty showers. Coming up, we'll talk more about that weekend forecast, and we'll also look at some cooler days ahead into next week. I'll let you know when the cooler air arrives.
All right, thanks, Mike. Well, coming up, a man is charged after police say he stabbed his own dog.
All right, you're going to hear from him as he tells our Jeff Hager why he did it.
You want to make sure your home is secure without spending tons of money on an expensive alarm system? Well, guess what? We're going to take a look at some cheaper ways to protect that property.
Plus, food delivery apps like Uber Eats promise to get you any type of food fast, so which one is the best one? We're going to put them to the test. You're watching ABC 2, the station that works for you. Taking a tumble to show kids how science can be stunning. The Science Center's annual Domino Day topples tomorrow, and this year, more than 30,000 dominoes are set up with a Maryland theme. Last year, the theme was space, with only 15,000 dominoes, but there are always surprises integrated into the fun. You can watch the action happening in the lobby at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. There will be other fun activities an hour before, teaching our kids about the STEM skills used to create the display. The cost to watch is included in admission to the Science Center right there at the harbor.
And something fun for adults tomorrow, it's Vino in Vogue. You can taste wines from participating Harbor East restaurants and get an event-themed glass to keep. Tasting tickets vary in price from $30 to $55. Vino and Vogue gets underway at noon and ends at 4. And expect little heavy traffic and delays on the Bay Bridge on Sunday. It is across the Bay 10K. Runners will run the eastbound side of the bridge. A temporary closure on that side will start at midnight until 2 in the afternoon. Traffic will travel on the westbound side. For more information on this event and road closures, visit abc2news.com/events. I cannot imagine running across the Bay Bridge.
That's something.
I think I'll pass on
Well,
that.
you get an easy pass.
Yeah, no kidding.
You don't being stuck at
You're
the tolls.
speaking my language. I'm a nervous wreck just in the
Say,
car.
driving across, let alone running.
And the winds will kick up a little bit. It will be noticeably cooler going into the day tomorrow. In fact, you're going to notice that just as early as this evening when the temperatures really begin to drop. So I don't want to make it sound overhyped because we're just going back to where we should be for this time of year. But we've been
spoiled.
Yeah, right. We've been spoiled. I got to tell you, we had a high temperature back into the upper 70s. So the nice weather is still there. There's a look at the cold front that's going to bring the changes. And even now, we still have numbers in the 70s. 73 degrees reported. But check out Richmond at 81. Yeah, we'll take that as well. Cooler air on the horizon. Pittsburgh at 54 degrees right now. Charleston at 68. As this front continues to pass through the mid-Atlantic, that's going to change up our air mass a little bit. It's not only going to increase the clouds as it produces this rain, but it's also going to dry the atmosphere out a little bit. You probably noticed the muggy meter, it creeped up just ahead of this cold front. And that was the air you can wear, but it's going to be no more as we start to dry things up. And as far as the rain is concerned, maybe enough to get the windshield wipers going once or twice for the commute home. But that's about it. A lot of the rain isn't even really popping up on radar. You can see a few blips on the radar near Cecil County, but most of that activity, once again, will continue to press east, and we'll continue to see some of the mostly cloudy conditions, but that's primarily about it. Here's a check of the numbers. 73 degrees at Towson, West Baltimore at 74, Gwinoak at 73 as well. Some 60s are starting to pop out on the map. Westminster at around 69 degrees, and the further west that you go, you'll find the 70s are still holding steady in pockets, and Deep Creek at around 48 degrees. They're on the other side of that cold front right now. Here's a live look downtown. You can see the mostly cloudy conditions are there. We had some patchy fog in spots earlier today, but the skies really started to open up once we got into the afternoon. That's what helped us to warm up. There was actually a dense fog advisory in effect for eastern Harford County as well as Cecil County, but now things are starting to improve. 73 degrees right now, feels like 73. The dew point, tropical air mass at 60 degrees, and winds are from the northwest at around 7 miles per hour. For the rest of this evening, we stay mostly cloudy. Temperatures will go from the 50s down into the 40s for an overnight low, so a very sharp change. We'll stay mostly cloudy as well. Going into your day tomorrow, you'll notice a very sharp change. We reached highs in the upper 70s today. Best we can do tomorrow, 58 degrees. So a much cooler scenario. Will stay cloudy throughout the day, and rain even returns thanks to a warm front, which will also bring the fog back in place. But it does warm us up. We're going with 70 degrees for Sunday. So the ups and downs in our forecast, it does hold steady, at least through your weekend. So here's a look at Futurecast. It shows the clouds making a return for your Saturday. That's also going to be the rain starting to push back into place. That's the warm front that'll warm us up for Sunday, but until it arrives, it's just going to do more damage with the clouds and also the rain. As that pushes in, it does warm us up for your Sunday, so the 70s do return, but then after that, we'll be talking about another forecast change-up. Yet another cold front moves in. This will be for Monday, and this resets the atmosphere completely. The air mass behind this cold front does not appear to change very much. Here's a look at the colder air. This time around, once it arrives, it holds steady, and we're expecting temperatures to struggle to get out of the 50s going throughout much of next week. And that's the early call on the long-range forecast. But here's a check of that 7-day. So we have temperatures that are going to be bouncing around as far as cooling down. The 50s will return as we go into next week. Multiple chances of seeing some showers, and eventually it looks like we could warm up back to normal, but it's going to take a second before that could happen. Back to you.
All right, Mike. Tonight, the Anne Arundel County community is coming out to remember a teen who was hit by a car last week and died a few days ago.
And police still haven't been able to find the driver. ABC 2 News' Skylar Henry is live in Glen Burnie, where Kirsten Walko's school tonight is honoring her. Skylar?
Yeah, Kelly, I spoke with Kirsten's grandmother about 45 minutes ago, just catching up with her about the life that Kirsten lived. Right now, the JV football team here at North County High School is playing. In about an hour or so, the varsity will take the field, and before that, there will actually be a moment of silence for Kirsten, and this is where she went to school. She was a senior. Now, about a week ago, Kirsten was walking with a group along West B&A Road, leaving a house party early Saturday morning, and that's when a silver car with tinted windows came around the corner and hit Kirsten and drove away.
He knew he hit somebody, and he kept on going. And this person needs to be caught. You know, an accident's an accident, but he kept going. So it shows the cruelty.
I mentioned before I spoke with Kirsten's grandmother, and she told me that the family is still trying to wrap their head around how someone could do something like this and then drive away. But she said that because of the community's support and because of the school's support and just everyone's help, the family is slowly getting through this. Now, there's a visual set up for tomorrow and also a GoFundMe page available as well to help with funeral expenses. All of that posted on our website, abc2news.com. Now, coming up at 6, I'll have the latest on the investigation into all of this and where police need your help. All that coming up at 6 o'clock. For now, reporting live here in Glen Burnie, I'm Skylar Henry, ABC2 News.
All right, thanks a lot, Skylar. You know, it's Friday night. You probably want to put your feet up, hang out at home. Who wants to cook after a long week?
No, but if you're not in the mood to order pizza, we are checking out the apps that promise to get you any type of food fast. We asked Andy Taylor to try them all out.
Well, Postmates, Uber Eats, Eat24, and DoorDash are the perfect apps to order food and get it delivered to you. And we put them all to the test to find out which is the best one. All 4 apps have slight differences when it comes to restaurants, fees, and how easy they are to use. As we got started, we wanted to order food from the same restaurant on each app, but we quickly realized not every restaurant is on every app. All right, let's order some food. DoorDash was the simplest to use because there weren't that many choices or suggestions to help you choose what to eat. Eat24, like many of the others, offered food categories like American, Asian, and Mexican to help you narrow down your choices. And we found when placing your order on Uber Eats, if you already have an Uber account, there's no need to add your credit card number. It's already in their system. Although we use Postmates for ordering food, we learned you can use the app for ordering anything from the local drugstore to your favorite department store. No matter which app you use, there's a place to save money by adding a promo code in. But you'll need to watch out for hidden service fees outside of the usual delivery and tax fee. One thing I like about all of these apps, they give you push notifications letting you know when your food's going to arrive, so you're not waiting more than just a few minutes at the door. This for me? Yes, ma'am. As for which app delivered the food the fastest, Postmates, DoorDash, and Eat24 all arrived 10 minutes early than their estimated delivery time. Uber Eats was right on schedule. Thank you. After trying the apps for the first time, ordering the food, and now getting the food, we've realized that you probably should download a few of the apps to make sure that you're meeting all of your needs. I'm Annie Taylor.
Guess the days of just getting your car and driving there are ancient history.
It's all gone now.
All right. All right, coming up, companies have claimed their products containing marijuana cure cancer.
But now the federal government is now warning all of us not to believe the claims.
Plus, this couple tried and tried to have a family. When all hope was lost, an organization gave them the hope they needed. Hear their story as they get ready to welcome their first child. You're watching ABC2, the station that works for you.
ABC2 News is a proud partner of Swim Across America.
All right, word on the street is the flu season expected to be bad this year, right, Mike Taylor? No, he can't hear me. He's still taking fluids at this time. Listen, you can get your flu shot for free tomorrow. MedStar Harbor Hospital is holding free drive-through flu clinics. The event runs from 8 o'clock until 11 o'clock in the morning while supplies last. And then on Sunday, clinical staff members of MedStar Franklin Square Medical Center will be at the Community College of Baltimore County, Essex, and they're going to be giving out free flu shots starting at 8 in the morning. The clinic will continue until noon or again when the supplies run out.
A warning from the FDA coming out this week about companies illegally marketing marijuana-derived products as cures for cancer.
Yeah, with more on this, ABC's Janae Norman.
With increasing interest in medical marijuana comes a rise in unscrupulous companies hoping to capitalize on this trend. And this week, the FDA coming down hard on a number of firms they say have been lying to consumers, illegally selling products that claim to prevent, treat, or cure many diseases, even cancer, without any evidence whatsoever. The products contain CBD oil, a part of the marijuana plant that does not have FDA approval for any medical indication. These oils sold in drops, capsules, syrups, teas, lotions, and creams. Not only are these sales illegal, the products can put patients at risk, health officials say, exposing them to dangerous chemicals and potentially steering them away from proven therapies that can save their lives. So remember, products without FDA approval are not yet proven safe and may not deliver on the effects they claim. And if you're ever unsure as to whether a drug is FDA approved, ask your doctor. I'm Janae Norman, ABC News.
You're watching the station that works for you. Now, ABC2 News at 5.
A pit bull with a vicious track record for attacks on other dogs and people is put down, but it's the way Thor's owner tried to end his life that has him in trouble tonight.
The Kate Foundation is a lifesaver and a life beginner. With this group, moms and dads are cherishing every coo, every giggle. Thanks for joining us with Kelly Swoop. I'm Jamie Costello. We have a Cecil County man facing animal cruelty charges tonight after plunging a knife into his dog's neck and mistakenly leaving it for dead.
ABC2 News' Jeff Hager spoke with the suspect today and has more on the attack, which actually prompted his actions. Jeff?
Kelly, the dog in question is an American Staffordshire Terrier, commonly known as a pit bull, which attacked another dog. But it was the means its owner used to try to put it down that makes him an alleged criminal in the eyes of the law. His leg still bears the scars of a previous bite, so Reggie Farley of Northeast says he knew all too well that his beloved pit bull named Thor was prone to attack.
My dog attacked me before. He attacked a couple people at a party. He attacked like 3 people. He got out recently, attacked like 2 dogs down the street. So he's been on an aggressive, like, rampage mode, I guess you would call it.
And the rampage continued when Thor got out of his fence and attacked Cujo, a 3-year-old Shepherd Lab mix down the street late Wednesday.
I pulled up at the end when they got the dogs apart. The owner got the dog off my dog. He's doing good. He's got a little bit of swelling. He's got some drainage tubes in, but he's doing good. He's barking, so that's a good sign.
While Cujo survived the attack, Thor's owner would soon make a decision to end his dog's life that would land him in jail.
I hear the yelling. I go out there and get my dog, come back. When I come back, he's attacking me again. So I said, at this point, you know what? I love my dog to death, but he has to go. And it wasn't me being cruel. Like, I'm cruel to my animal. Was at the point where it was too much.
When a trooper responded to a call for a dog attack, he heard the sound of another canine yelping loudly from behind Farley's home.
The trooper found this pit bull laying there, grievously wounded, and with a knife sticking out of its neck. Based on the severity of the wound and the suffering that the animal was enduring, the trooper used his department-issued pistol to end its suffering. And then immediately arrested this owner for animal cruelty.
Farley claims he thought he had killed the dog, and he was just as surprised as the trooper when he found it writhing in pain.
He was still a little moving. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. I love that dog to death. You can ask my neighbors. Everybody in this neighborhood knows my dog. I love my dog to death. That's like my kid. That hurts. That's my best friend. So yes, it hurts me very bad. It's not something I'm gloating about.
Accident or not, Farley now faces a pair of animal cruelty charges that are misdemeanors, which means each carries a maximum of 90 days in jail and $1,000 fines if he's convicted.
All right, thanks, Jeff. A family of 3 in Brookville is homeless tonight after fire destroyed their home. It happened just before 6 last night on Brinkwood Road in Montgomery County. Firefighters arrived on the scene. The home was in flames. 1 person was taken to the hospital for smoke inhalation and burns. Investigators say the fire was accidental. The homeowners were working on a car in the garage when the fire broke out. Everybody's been accounted for except the family dog. Damage estimated at $500,000.
And the promised cold front is finally starting to arrive and is bringing some changes to our atmosphere. Currently, temperatures are still holding steady in the 70s, but clouds are increasing. We're seeing a few showers beginning to pop up on radar. Very light stuff. In fact, most of it has been over towards the eastern shore and also well south of Annapolis. But otherwise, we're seeing clouds starting to decrease in spots as this front presses on through. But you'll notice the main change with the temperatures. We're holding on to the 70s right now, 73 degrees at BWI, dew point at 60. So it's still a warm, summery air mass. But here's the temperature trend. We'll go from those 70s and look at that sharp drop after the cold front gets done with us. Over the next 12 hours, we'll see those 40-degree temperatures yet again, and some of us could actually see some upper 30s for tonight. So coming up in the full forecast, we'll talk more about the return of the fall-like weather, how long it sticks around, and we'll time out our next chances of seeing some rain.
Well, it was a dream that they never gave up on, the dream to one day become parents.
And one local couple opened up about their journey and the organization who gave them hope and support when they needed it the most. Here's ABC 2 News' Ashley James.
Maisha and John Suber are all smiles as they sort through their baby gifts.
Rookie of the year.
But their journey to get here was long and at times extremely challenging. In April of 2013, Maisha and John had a miscarriage. It was a devastating loss.
It was definitely emotional because, you know, you go from the high of figuring out you're being parents to, you know, the low of now, you know, you're not sure what's going to happen, you're not sure why.
The pain would only get worse as the couple would eventually try again to get pregnant. Their diagnosis was unexplained infertility. John and Maisha weren't giving up, trying intrauterine insemination or IUI, but again, no luck. John and Maisha had 8 failed IUI attempts.
Lots of tears, lots of anger.
It was pretty much the only thing that I prayed about for like 4 years since the miscarriage.
It's just a lot.
The couple planned to try in vitro, but took a break after John was diagnosed with MS. During the break, they sorted out their finances, looking for options to help with the expected costs. That's when they found the Tanina Q. Cade Foundation.
CADE provides grants of up to $10,000 that will help with the cost of adoption or fertility treatment. We also provide medicine grants that will help with fertility treatment.
Dr. Camille Hammond is co-founder of the CADE Foundation, an organization providing support and financial assistance to families struggling with infertility. Dr. Hammond says it's important to know you're not alone.
1 in 8 families struggles with infertility, but there are so many ways that you can become a parent that no one should just feel hopeless, like there's no help. And I don't care how bad the situation is or what terrible news you've been given. You can become a parent if you don't give up.
CADE awarded John and Maisha a $5,000 medicine grant.
It was the best call we could have ever received.
But before the couple could even try in vitro, an unexpected surprise.
And then she was sitting on the tub and the pregnancy test was on the floor. And she pointed down, she was like, what the hell? And I was like, you're gonna have to tell me what that means. Like, I need to know. And she was like, it means we're pregnant. And I was like, oh.
After, obviously, the initial shock, one of my first thoughts was, but what about TK? I was like, oh my goodness, we gotta tell them.
Maisha and John are expecting a baby boy in December. This Saturday, the CADE Foundation will hold its 12th annual Family Building Gala at the World Trade Center in Baltimore. It's a night to celebrate families overcoming infertility. There's a raffle for Ravens tickets, a silent auction, dinner and dancing, and tickets are still available. Go to cadefoundation.org for information. For ABC 2 News, I'm Ashley James.
What an organization they are.
Great family, Camille and Jason.
Unbelievable. There are currently 65 CADE babies to date, 2 ongoing pregnancies, and to apply for a grant, head to abc2news.com, and we have a link to the CADE Foundation's grant page. There are 2 deadlines. The first is coming up February the 1st, and then the second will be on July the 1st. All right, those of you with BMWs, recalls to tell you about tonight. 1.4 million cars have to come back because of a fire risk. 2 recalls filed with the National Transportation Safety Administration affect several models. The first covers a part of the engine that can short circuit and melt even if the car isn't in use. BMW says it doesn't know of any accidents or injuries related to this. The second recall involves an overheating risk due to faulty wiring in the heating and the air conditioning system. 3 injuries have been reported because of this, and dealers just say you want to bring your car back starting December the 18th. We have more on the recalls or any other recall that you may have heard about on our website at abc2news.com, right under the recalls section. All right, we'd all like to make our home more secure from burglars and alarm systems and monitoring. Man, they are expensive.
That's right, but ABC 2 News' John Matarese shows us some simple, inexpensive ways to keep the crooks out so you don't waste your money.
With heroin and opioid-related crime making news almost every day, a lot of us would like to make our homes safer from break-ins. So we found some easy ways to secure your home for under $50. Brandy Boone knows how a home burglary can shake up your world.
Busted this whole frame.
2 years ago, burglars kicked in the door. They even took her wedding ring. Locksmith Jim Lang's job is to stop them.
The more noise you have them make, the better you're going to be.
He starts with a $4 flip latch, much more secure than a chain.
So you can't open the door once you're inside.
Live in an apartment or condo? Try this Door Angel for $15.
You put this on once you're on the inside, and they can't use the key to get in.
It keeps out the handyman or an ex who might have a key. Jim says the weakest link in most homes is not the front door, but rather the back or side door, where a lot of people still don't have a good deadbolt lock.
They don't want to go through the front door and have everybody in the neighborhood see them.
This side door has a basic lock where Jim's credit card pops it right open.
Push on it, it's going to open the door.
Jim says fix it with a $20 deadbolt. But if the screws are short, thieves can still kick your door in. So Jim does the $1 security fix.
You put that one in.
He screws extra long 3-inch screws into the frame.
It's almost impossible to break in.
Next, your sliding glass door, which he says burglars can lift and slide. Jim fixes it with a door pin, $5.
And what you do is put that pin through your sliding glass door in the back so that the glass door will not slide.
Windows are another access point. Jim says a $7 sliding lock lets fresh air in but keeps crooks out.
So that you can't raise it at all.
As for your garage, that hanging emergency cord is a target for any burglar with a coat hanger. It costs you nothing, though, to
tie this up here so you can't grab it and put it through the garage door.
Finally, we've all seen ads for the $200 Ring doorbell. But Jim says an old-fashioned peephole will set you back just $7. Of course, if you have more money, you can buy a Wi-Fi camera system and home security system, but you can still get some peace of mind for just a few bucks. You don't waste your money. I'm John Matteries, ABC 2 News.
Well, you've heard about the bots buying up tickets to popular concerts before you can order them and then charging some of these ridiculous prices.
Well, they're going after popular holiday toys as well now. Listen to this. Congress tried to crack down on these bots last year with a new law. It makes it illegal to use a bot or another software to buy tickets. People can get hit with a civil lawsuit if they do it, but this law only applies to event tickets, not toys. Well, at least one senator introduced the bill last year going after the bots buying up toys. It didn't go anywhere. So Consumer Reports has some advice. First, try to shop early demand for hot toys as they go up as we get closer to Christmas. And that attracts even more bots. And second, find the suggested retail price of the toy you want to buy. So if a bot is trying to mark up the price, you know how much you should really be paying for that.
All right, let's face it. We've all been in a situation where you just have that gut feeling.
Oh, yeah, but can those feelings be trusted? And do they even exist? We'll take a look.
Plus, it's the high-action blockbuster everyone's talking about, including us. ABC 2 at the Movies discusses Ragnarok when we come back.
And here's a look at Glen Burnie from this morning. It was a beautiful sunrise. We were able to dodge a lot of the fog and check out that time-lapse. Coming up, we'll talk more about some beautiful days ahead, but first, we have to get through a cloudy Saturday before we warm up again. Details coming up.
You know, we hear it and probably say it all the time. I've got a gut feeling. Trust your gut instincts.
I believe it, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, your gut never lies to you. But is your gut instinct really a thing? And can it be trusted? Of course it can. Max Darrow gets behind the psychology of your gut feelings.
You're sitting in your car waiting for a friend, and all of a sudden, you get that pit in your stomach. Something just doesn't feel right. So you lock your doors. You feel a bit safer, but then you sit there and wonder, what was it that made me feel that way? Well, more likely than not, it's from a phenomenon called subliminal perception.
A piece of information is flashed so suddenly that you didn't become aware of it, but you still processed it. You still made sense of it at some level. So you may react to something that you're completely unaware of.
Dr. Victor Shamus is a former psychology professor at the University of Arizona. He believes that your gut instinct, your intuition, is a lot more powerful than you'd think.
Intuition, at some level, could be a biological mechanism that's looking out for our own good. a guidance system, some type of internal guidance system.
And it's there when we need it the most. Self-defense instructor Chance Ward is on the same page. He thinks it's there to protect us.
More often than not, your mindset or your gut feelings will serve you better. Generally, if something seems off,